Nice of you to bring the Russia crisis with you this morning.
Well, it's a good coincidence. As you say, there's a lot going on. Pope's arriving, but there's also this tragedy in Syria.
Assad has had a relationship with Russia for years. Let's back up. What is the traditional Russia-Damascus relationship?
It's an historic alliance. It goes back in legal form to 1960. And I guess that Russia is just being true to its ally in the way that great powers around the world and over history tend to behave.
Then within that, within the past, what is the new for Putin? Is he the salvation for Mr. Assad as he's beleaguered on all fronts?
Well, Putin has been consistent in his support for, he always calls it the Syrian state. He's always careful not to personalize it as the personality of the current dictator in Syria. But that's been his position since the beginning of the civil war in Syria. And I think that his position has been reinforced by the disaster of Libya. Putin regards the West as having double-crossed him over Libya. They induced him not to veto a United Nations Security Council resolution to try to stop the violence. The resolution went through. It was used by the West to change the regime in Libya. The country broke down, is now in chaos, and is pouring out jihadi
And he doesn't
terrorists.
want to see that in Syria, to say that. It's funny, jump in here.
Is this a little bit fear of missing out as well? There's the idea this morning that there will have to be compromise between the West and Assad in Syria. Gideon Rachman saying that, you know, in the pursuit of a moral end, this will be the final outcome. Does Putin not want to be left out of that?
I think you're spot on. That's the next motive down the shopping list, and it's an important one, although a subsidiary one. What he wants to do, that is President Putin, is to interpose himself in this conflict resolution process, or perhaps conflict escalation process, if you're talking about hitting the Islamic State, and make Russia an indispensable player. Remember that in the 2 years since Putin last changed the game in Syria, recall, mid-2013, a red line had been crossed. President Obama announced that the United States was going to attack. It was Putin who turned around that policy, brokered the deal on the chemical weapons decommissioning, and the whole situation took a different course. So now again. And what's happened in the meantime is that he's entered into a huge geopolitical confrontation with the United States over Ukraine. So it's a very big game.
Well, within the game, I want to bring our viewers up to date on where we are. But first, Michael McKee found this quote for us, really added value, with a Christoph Reuter quote here on a decaying country. The wars for control over the decaying country make a peaceful solution virtually impossible. These wars know no borders. The longer all of us last, the more difficult it will be to stop Syria. And this in Der Spiegel, Mike McKee, reading it in German, thought it was just a superb effort by Christoph Reuter. Within that is the hand-wringing that we have of just do something. It was that Roosevelt feeling from the 1930s. What is the just do something for the United States?
Well, it's difficult for us to sit here and think for the United States government. It's a hugely complicated, multifaceted problem. But I would summarize just do something in the way I just mentioned. Prevent another Libya. Because Libya has been dangerous to Europe. Jihadis have found out across sub-Saharan Sahel. French troops have been deployed in various countries.
If the FT this morning says there's 2,000 Russian troops deployed within missile support in Syria, do we need tit for tat to get 2,000 troops to wherever?
You know what? President Putin is saying, yes, let's fight this one together. Let's prevent a total crumbling of order in Syria with disastrous consequences, even on top of the tragedies that have already been.